Buenas noches. Oh no, not the solar eclipse. Who said that? Yes, we are going to have a look at absolute light and Mickey Mouse finite light. First of all, any ideas? Bueller. That is the temperature of Artemis when it shot out of the atmosphere, when it shot out of the clouds and landed in El Agua. So I'm just going to pause you and we're going to have a look and see what something that is Escorcho looks like when it hits the water. I'll pause you, I'll be right back. And we are back. So this has been just over a fire just to heat it up. So when something hot, something that's Escorcho, lands in water, right? See? And this isn't even, I mean, it's not a couple of meters wide and 3,000 degrees. Imagine the chaos. You know, this is what, been over a fire, a couple of 100 degrees or something. Funny, isn't it, how we see stuff, but still refuse to acknowledge what's happening. All right, I'll be right back. And just like that, it's gone. Now, the speed of light, the speed of light. 299,792,000, what is it? Look. Strong. Meters per second. Also known as 299,792 kilometers per second. 1905, Einstein caused the photon. But we have the solar eclipse, don't we? Just like seeing a red hot capsule land in the water, something you can see with your eyes that it wasn't. This, you can see with your eyes that it is absolute light. Now, a sweet spot on planet Earth, the moon, and directly behind the moon, that is the eclipse. The sun being blocked by the moon. Now, this finite light taking 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us from here. 8 minutes and 18.7 seconds, and then the Mickey Mouse 1.3 seconds to hit Earth. Ridiculous. Look, it just is, right? Now this one, it's all about one thing. All of this is about relativity. It's horseradish. Doesn't seem possible, does it? But it is. It's just a continuation of everything that I've been saying, okay? Olaus Roma, the light delay from Io coming out from behind Jupiter. In 1676, it was your first nudge at relativity, a light delay. A light delay. During our solar eclipse, how on earth have people ended up believing that there is an 8 minute and 20 second light delay for photons to get here from the sun? How? It's so obvious, right? That the sun is directly behind the moon. Look, you've got the Smiths down there. Sun, as seen from Earth, is directly behind the moon. somebody needs to explain to me, where is the delay? There is no delay. There's no delay. It's illogical to think that it's taken photons, it's photons being blocked, and it's that blocking of the photons by the moon that is causing the shadow. It's ridiculous. The shadow will be directly in line with the light source itself, not photons that are being radiated off of it. And in the case of the eclipse, we have a 2.08 degree spinning of Earth on its axis counterclockwise. So this sweet spot, the black line, which is going to be there, when those photons left the sun, it would have been facing that way, 2.08 degrees away from where it is going to be when those photons finally hit. So when this happens, the photons leave the sun. They take 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us here. Turns, bang! Sweet spot, shadow. But why is the sun still directly behind the moon? How can that be? If it took 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the photons to reach the moon that are being blocked, which creates the shadow, the sun should not be there anymore. The amount of arguments that say, yes, it should be, they're so illogical that it defies common sense and logic, like so much other stuff does. Like the Artemis capsule splashing without any. It's the things that we can see with our own two eyes that we are denying. And it is that denial of what is obvious that has created the problems that are happening now. Because everybody's just believing all sorts of stuff, illogical stuff. You could see it's illogical, but still believe it. Why is that? This, indirectly, again, is suggesting that there is a light delay, right? That the sun is 93 million miles away or 150 million kilometers away. This isn't about the flat or round thing again, but once again, the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. It's directly behind the moon, whether it be 93 million miles away or just directly behind the moon, as is suggested in the flat earth theory. It's irrelevant which one it is. What is relevant is whichever one it is absolute light radiating from the sun. There is no delay. Therefore, this is once again rubbish. It is. Yeah, but loads of people have done so many. No, they haven't. All of it is pure presumption. All of it is presumption. Here we are again with the science that makes no sense. Right? The photon, the Mickey Mouse photon. Massless, invisible packets of them. Does that not raise an alarm bell? Invisible massless packets of invisible massless photons during a solar eclipse. Where are they? They're nowhere to be found because the moon is directly in front of the sun. It is the sun, the light source itself, being blocked by the moon. Where There is no room for photons. It doesn't matter what Einstein said, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's almost along the same lines as giving the pyramids to the Egyptians, even though there is not one single logical out anywhere for how even one single stone was quarried with just copper hand tools. Light is absolute. There is no delay. A light source will radiate its light to as far as it is going to go at absolute speed. Done this how many times? Flashlight. Right? Bang! 10 k's range. You can have somebody at 1, 2, 3, 4, all the kilometre markers up to 10. You turn this on, everybody's wired into a box, a timer. Whenever you see the light, you hit the button, turn the light on, and there will be no indication of a pattern that would suggest the first kilometre saw it before the second, who saw it before the third, before the fourth, fifth, up to the end. The bigger the light source, the further it will radiate its light at absolute speed. It's not a case of it travels at 299,792 kilometers per second anywhere. It's a myth. A light source will radiate its light to as far as it's going to go, bang, like that. The end. The bigger and more powerful the light source, the further that light will reach at absolute speed. If you are out of range of a light source when it first switches on, if you don't see it, it's game over. You will never see that light source unless you get closer, it gets closer, or it gets more powerful. Then you'll see it. Now, it's the things again that people are believing to be true that obviously aren't. It's this absurdity, this relentless push, absurdity after absurdity. And because people have let the first few in, the rest have followed. Common sense is the ability to be able to differentiate between what is real and what isn't real. And the photon is a myth. Light is absolute. Right, I've got another minute and a half. Those stars that you see in the night sky, whether they are a part of the firmament or they're X amount of trillion kilometers away from us, you're seeing them exactly where they are in real time. There is no light delay. You're not seeing all of these stars and the light has been traveling from different amount of years from each one and they finally get here. It's just rubbish. Our eyesight is absolute when it comes to lights. It doesn't matter how far away a light source is. If you can see it, it means it is powerful enough to reach your eyesight at absolute speed. That's why you're seeing it, because it is powerful enough for you to detect. If it wasn't powerful enough for you to detect, you're just never going to see it. It's that simple. Telescopes do not look into the past. It's just insane. All right, folks, I'm going to call it there. The Artemis capsule. I mean, come on. No. No. All right, folks. That's a nice, easy one tonight. Light is absolute, and there is no evidence to think otherwise. Buenas noches.